Hey, Joe on the radio. Great to have you with us on AM 970. The Answer. Erin Elmore is live in Washington, D.C. We're going to go to Erin in a second. I want to tell you about Larry Elder's movie. You know, I love Larry. Surprise, I'm here in this vast ballroom waiting for this Falkirk Freedom Summit to start. And I see this great gal comes in and says, "Hi, Joe, Erin Elmore in person, live here. What do you do? You're live. This is great.
Live in person. I did your show a couple times during the pandemic from home.
We appreciate it.
Now I'm here with you in person. What a pleasure.
I know. So tell us, you got up here. Is it okay to leave? Masking. Everybody's masking.
Yeah.
We're social distancing here.
Yeah. Well, I already had the corona.
Did you have the virus?
In March, I never got sick, so those are the stories no one tells you.
Yeah, tell us about that, if you would.
Early March, so, I was traveling back and forth to New York a lot. I was doing a lot of Fox News at the time.
Yeah.
Just back and forth on that Amtrak, right?
Yeah.
And they were talking virus. So then everything closed down. I went home, and 2 weeks later, I just couldn't smell or taste. And that was what they were talking about on TV. And I just gave a sniff, and I couldn't smell or taste anything for 5 days. I didn't get sick. I didn't feel anything. My husband, same thing.
Yeah.
And both of us, antibody positive, virus negative by early April. So we sort of feel that we have a little bit of immunity.
Yeah.
Right? I mean,
Absolutely.
the people on the other side, I say in air quotes, say that we're not safe, but I feel fine traveling around. I mean, I obviously wash my hands thoroughly and wear my mask, but I feel
just in
safe.
case. Sure. Did you take medicine? Did you take the medicine?
No, I didn't need it because I was asymptomatic.
That's wild.
You never hear that. You hear everyone,
Well, thank you.
Legs are going to fall off.
Erin, thanks for bringing it up because they're panicking everybody. And by the way,
people are scared.
Voracious virus, vicious virus, it's a killer.
No one should die. Not one human
That's right.
on Earth should have lost their life from this.
Yeah.
But having said that, I didn't get sick at all. People should know that.
But to your point, not one person, I'm telling you, not because they had the medicine early on. And I keep saying, and I don't mean to irritate people, but I do. When it was President Trump that said hydroxychloroquine, well, you're dying. You don't go home and take Tylenol. How did you find out you had it, by the way?
I thought to myself, I was traveling around a lot and I couldn't smell or taste, and they said that was a symptom.
That was it.
So whenever the antibody test became available, we just went and took one, and there you have it. So that's the story you don't hear.
You look great. Everything good then?
I mean, I'm trying. It's a struggle every day.
Did you and your husband recover at the same time?
Well, there was nothing to recover from.
Yes.
The only thing we had to recover from was the bottle of wine we were sharing every night because we were stuck in the house with a 7-year-old.
Philly? You a Philly girl?
I am.
We love Philly. Philly rocks. Totally rocks. I don't know why I have such a love affair with the city of brotherly love.
I think last time I was on, I told you I was going to take you to an Eagles game.
Yeah. I
don't know how the heck that's
at the
gonna
link.
happen.
I'll go. We should go.
I mean, the only city that'll boo Santa Claus. You can come. We've got great seats.
You're too young. I remember the vet.
Oh my gosh.
Where they used to have a jail at the bottom of the vet because the fans got so unruly.
That's
they had a
classic.
judge downstairs.
Yeah, I kind of knew who that judge was. He's still kind of around.
Really?
But that's kind of classic. That's almost like worth the mugshot.
Exactly.
Like with the Eagles green painted on your face. That's a great mugshot, actually.
But you made the move down south, did you? Huh?
We are in. Whenever the pandemic was one thing, but the riots were another, and they were a real thing in Philly. People that saw it on the news did not realize how bad it was. Everything was boarded up like it was a hurricane on my block. And I have a kid that's old enough to read, and when I saw F the police and expletives written on the ATM machine and all the windows busted out, I didn't want him to live like that and see that. And helicopters overhead, people screaming in the streets, and cop cars all over. It wasn't a way to live. So we went down to Florida where people were living normally. And
you made the move, a permanent move out.
Not yet. It's permanent because my husband's still a little reticent. He wants to go back north, but I would stay in Florida.
Yeah.
It's red down there.
Yeah.
It's happy. And you know what? No one's angry.
I know. You're so
you go
funny.
to a restaurant in Philly and it is mean. And down there in Florida, like, hey, how are you? What's going on? You look beautiful. Up there, they're like, you stink. Here are your eggs. Beat it, geek. Nope.
Wait, were you in Center City in Philadelphia?
Yeah, downtown,
Yeah, it's gotten at it. We've lost Jersey. We've lost New York.
Yeah.
We lost Philly.
I think these cities are changed for a decade.
I do too, and I don't know that. I swear to goodness, explain this to me, Erin Elmore. Explain this to me. Why people blindly? And you know what? I'm going to answer my own question.
You know,
I was a Democrat for most of my life.
Me too.
A blue dog, right?
Yeah.
And you would just go Democrat right across just to do it. I couldn't do it anymore.
You can't. Well, they changed. We didn't change.
Yeah, I hope.
When people say that to me now, and they say this to you probably too, you're socially liberal. Not anymore. You're not. Like, socially liberal is just the things that Republicans believe now. We believe and rights for everyone.
Yeah.
That's commonplace.
Yeah,
now. If
yeah.
you say socially liberal, that means that you believe in open borders and no law and order.
Yeah. It's great to have you here. You're great. I love your energy. You're great. You were on The Apprentice with Donald J. Trump. How did that all happen?
In 2006, I just graduated from law school. I was literally depressed about my life, billing hours. I was like, I am not cut out for this racket. And then the show The Apprentice was the #1 rated show on television, right?
Yeah.
Everyone was calling me, go try out. And I said, fine. I walked over to the Lowe's Hotel in Center City, Philadelphia.
Yeah.
And there was a gaggle of people standing in line. And I looked at all these people and I was like, I got this in the bag.
Oh?
And they did a boardroom style interview. And some young-ish kid comes in and
chapping my lips. You don't mind if I chap?
Chap.
Oh, well, thank you.
No one knows. We're on the radio.
I know.
You could literally.
Sorry, I didn't want to be rude in the middle of your dissertation about The Apprentice. He's chapping his lips, so I was talking to a guy. I'm sorry. Go ahead. Yeah.
So I got in this line, and they did a boardroom style interview, and some young kid came in and said, "My dad is very wealthy. I should be on The Apprentice." And I said, "What does nepotism have to do with anything?" I said, "You know what? You don't even know what nepotism is. Tell me what it means, or else get up and leave." Yeah. And he couldn't say it. I go, "Okay, you can leave now." And I just eviscerated this poor kid. And then the producers, a little tip, they say it to everyone. Don't call us. We'll call you. We'll let you know if you made it. Everyone leave. Yeah. And then they secretly pulled me and said, stay here.
Wow.
And then I went to the next round and the next round and the next round and the next round. And 2 weeks later, living in Trump Tower.
Oh, my gosh.
Yeah.
And how did you fare? I should know this.
I did really well.
Yeah.
It was hard work.
Yeah.
I have the honor and the distinction of being fired by the 45th president of the United States. And then he helped me get jobs in broadcasting. So I have an undergrad degree in political science and broadcasting.
Cool.
So technically I'm using all of my jobs.
Where'd you go to school? In Philly?
Undergrad, University of Miami in Florida.
Wow.
And then law school at Villanova.
Wow, God bless you, girl. Look at you. The president, as a person, I try to bring this out on the radio every day. We had some of the folks that worked in the kitchen, Oliver and Monica, and I asked, because I knew what they were going to say. I said, the president comes back and says hi? Oh, yeah, the president always comes back and says hi. Yeah. I know him like that. I know Melania like that. Yeah. I've had that opportunity. But you're very, very young. But you had this opportunity with the citizen Donald Trump, he was decent, respectful, and nice.
I mean, he helped. He was a mentor to me.
Look at this. Yeah.
The only thing about Donald Trump that we don't see is he's even funnier, right? Don't you think he's even funnier behind the scenes?
Yeah.
He's hilarious.
He really is. He's got a great sense of humor.
Yeah. He doesn't get to show that anymore.
Yeah, sometimes I think, I'm supposed to be interviewing him, and I don't want to do a political interview. I want to do a lifestyle interview because at his age, his stamina, his focus, it's scary. He doesn't get tired.
I know when people say Joe Biden, who's clearly out to lunch with dementia, God bless him, nice guy, terrible president, right?
Yeah, exactly.
But I go to a lot of the president's speeches. He talks for an hour and 45 minutes, and we're young and spry over here. I'm like, I am exhausted.
I know
how he does that. It's beyond.
I want to ask him about that. How he does that. Hey, what is your role in the Donald Trump?
Okay, so now I worked on the 16 campaign, but I have had the honor and the distinction of pleasure of working with a brand new organization called USA Strong.
Okay.
And basically, you've heard the message, Make America Great Again. We've heard that before. But technically, in actuality, we want to hold China accountable and restore greatness to the American middle class. So right now, that's a pretty bipartisan attitude. The Pew Research Foundation just came out with a study that said 91% of Americans, and I'm paraphrasing, have a negative outlook on China because of what happened with the coronavirus.
Right.
And China isn't killing us with warfare. They're killing us with things like diseases and their terrible practices on labor. Yeah. They're destroying our middle class. All of our pharmaceuticals are essentially produced over there. We need to bring those manufacturing jobs back to the United States. We need to interfere trade deals. We need fewer immigration policy. Well, actually, more immigration policies to make the workplace better for American workers. And that is going to be my job. And I know it's a big job, but I've got big feet and big shoes. I can do it.
I can't. That is my mantra every single day, talking about how to bring the jobs back, and that the president is the only one talking about that.
Agreed.
We had Gordon Chang on earlier, everybody loves Gordon.
He's amazing.
Jersey boy, I'm just saying. But I met Gordon here at the Falkirk Center, with Jerry Falwell Jr. and Charlie Kirk. You're speaking.
I am on a panel.
Look at you. This is great. You're doing this.
I think I've
You're
tricked
young
them
America.
somehow.
I have hope down here. Oh, my God. You and Charlie Kirk.
Me, Charlie Koch, and Sebastian Gorka.
Oh, is Seb coming in here today?
That's
my
the man.
man.
I know. I don't know how they let me on this panel. Must have tricked somebody.
No, it's great.
And we're talking about neo-Marxist ideology on college campuses. And that's another thing. China has these Confucius Institutes. 110 colleges, 44 states. What they're doing, China is giving these colleges.
Listen to what Erin's saying, please. This is so
It's
vital.
really important. And if you have children,
Yeah.
The great Dennis Prager said, sending your children to college is playing Russian roulette with your values.
Yeah.
And I have a child and I'm scared to death. Anyhow, China is giving these colleges hundreds of thousands of dollars to open these Confucius Institutes. And at first glance, you might think, oh, have a Chinese tea ceremony or learn Mandarin. Sounds great. No. That's not what's going on.
Oh, man.
They are spying on us. They're stealing our intellectual property. They are indoctrinating our children. And these colleges just take hundreds of thousands of dollars because they are greedy despots in their own way.
Yeah.
And we got to close these institutes down because they're poisoning our children.
I'm so glad I came down here because somebody said, Mark Serrano, my buddy, goes, could you come down? And I know Jerry follows it. We're going to be at Liberty this weekend working with these brilliant kids from Liberty,
Oh my gosh.
Liberty University, like I've never seen. So I'm going to go down. So Mark says, you got to come down. I go, well, I got to travel. I got the kids. Should I come? I'm so glad. I'm so inspired. I want you, as you listen, what Erin is telling you, I rail about every single morning. It's an easy fix, but because the president gets it. What is with, and we'll let you go, but what is with the mainstream media and the way far left, how someone like AOC loses 25,000 jobs in Queens, New York? Why don't they see what you're, they don't even, what I saw yesterday here with Tom Conton and Dan Crenshaw and Marsha Blackburn, and I saw what David Brett was doing. Why wasn't that in the news?
Nothing is in the news. And there's a guy on Instagram. He's Insta famous. You should meet him. His name is Fleckus. Okay. He's the one that's been all over Fox. He ran into Jerry Nadler on the street, and he's a very disarming guy.
Saw that.
Did you see that?
I couldn't believe it.
And for
it was a myth.
For the people, you say it, for the people that are listening and you didn't see the clip.
Yeah.
First of all, he looks like Humpty Dumpty. I don't mean to be rude. And Fleckus said to him, hey, Jerry Nadler, you're the first celebrity we've seen in D.C. Disarms the guy. And he says, so what do you think about the riots in Portland? He goes, that's a myth you only hear about in D.C. Like, that's not on the mainstream media.
Yeah.
It's terrifying.
Yeah.
I think it's cognitive dissonance.
Yeah.
Look, the Nazi Germany had a lot of people that supported them because it was financially beneficial.
Thank you.
You can't do this. China is bad. That is not an eloquent thing to say, but we've got to get people to pay attention.
And it ain't the Chinese people, it's the Communist Party.
CCP. Yeah, there is nothing wrong with the Chinese people.
Boom.
Almost implicit at this point, but we do have to say it.
You got to stay with us. Thank you so much for coming in live. Look at you. How old's your little one? 7. God bless you. How great is that? Boy or girl?
A boy.
Yeah. Forget about it.
I know.
Mom and the son. It's
I
the
know.
best
And
thing.
his big new front teeth. I can't take it. I want to freeze them in time.
I know.
I know. Best.
But the blessing.
Should have had 20 kids.
Listen, you're young. Don't let me be your model because I'm older and I've got 5.
Oh, God bless you.
Yeah, I know. I love it. I could have 10.
Right?
I really can. Erin Elmore, thanks for the fight.
Thank you.
Thank you for being the inspiring, guiding light that you are.
Can we tell the people to follow my social media?
Go for it.
So we are USA Strong. We're on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook. Please follow us at Proud USA Strong.
Oh, God.
Please,
you're giving us hope for the future of America.
It's hard.
Yeah, no, you're doing a great job.
Fight.
You were doing a great job.
Thank you.
Erin Elmore right there with Piscopo Live. You must come back, and thank you.
I would love
Break a leg today. You're going to be great. Dr. Gorka, tell him Piscopo says hi.
You better watch 2 p.m. today.
Okay.
And everyone can tune in on C-SPAN.
That's right. You go on C-SPAN and see it. Hey, Joe on the radio. Big Al has a head